Hello and welcome back to the next episode of the War for XC Shop Uncut Let's Play series. In today's episode we're going to continue where we last left off, even though it has been quite a bit of time due to some unfortunate circumstances. And that means, in continuing where we last left off, we're continuing our war against the Kingdom of Boughton, which we are facing off with in this game. Now you may wonder, where the hell have I been? Well, if you're on the Discord you would know, but I've had some basically RSI my wrists. Or repetitive strain injuries, and this has meant that working on using the computer and doing stuff in general has become a lot harder, and I've took time to rest and focus on getting my hands better and looking after myself. Now I am feeling a lot better, and as the warm weather comes in, it's currently 27 degrees Celsius here in the United Kingdom. As warm weather does come in, my hands start to feel good, and or at least better than they were, and I'm ready to start making some more videos. So I do apologize for that if you did wonder where I was. But yeah, serious problems. Make sure you guys look after yourselves, look after your wrists, and don't let what happened to me happen to you. So where were we? Let's catch ourselves up. So we're currently at war with the aliens to the south of the galaxy, the Kingdom of Boughton. We control the northern part of the galaxy as well as the central part here, from Alalna 21185 to EQ Pegasi to EV Lacerte. We control all of this territory. Currently, we are waiting for our carriers to be built up and to prepare for our departure, in regards to the fact that we will need to be preparing ourselves for invading the enemy. And to do that, we're going to need a lot more ground forces, a lot of forces in general. And so the first thing I'm going to do in today's episode is I'm going to order up a ton more Marine Infantry battalions, as well as the regiments that we will be needing with them. So we're going to order up those regiments. And if we have a look at our current fleet that we are building up, which is currently the lead ship is the Vanguard. We have all the destroyers we need, as well as the cruisers and the supply vessels. The only thing else that we're going to need is going to be the fighters, and also ammunition for everything that we would obviously want or desire. So one thing I'm going to do though really quickly is actually unload all the ordnance, because it's going to be old ordnance and I don't really want to do that. And we're going to begin to reorganize and set up our fighter crafts to properly be assigned to the Vanguard in a way that is organizationally sound. In terms of research, we just complete research on the Mark V Striker, which means I'm now going to put the rest of the research into getting us probably, in terms of this technology, probably just better missile agility. And yeah, I think that works pretty well. We're currently waiting for quite a few vessels to be built. I'm also going to order up immediately another Brontide. So let's put one of those in construction. And we're waiting on industry-wise, we're waiting on all of these vessels to be done. So Transvals and Aardvark Block 4s. And then once those are done, we'll be able to move out towards our enemies. In Vega, or not Vega, V1581 Cygni, we're currently holding with a small garrison of forces, surface weapons and other forces. And we're hoping to be able to hold out long enough for reinforcements to arrive. One thing I am going to do actually is I'm going to have our troop transports load up a infantry division on, where was it? I'm going to go to Alpha Centauri. I'm going to load up this infantry division, as well as the extra battalions here, and then I'm going to transport them to Bernard Star for possible deployment into a war zone if required. So move to location. For now, we're just going to do 5 increments and keep going along here. Okay, Vanguard complete orders, which means it should have unloaded all of the ordnance they was carrying. Kerala Block 3 completed, that's good news. How is our one thing I do want to know is, how is our research coming along here? Shields, we want to go for as much shields as we can, or Delta shields probably, before Delta, Gamma. Yeah, so can I get a matching scientist that'll be able to do this for me? 33 labs. Defense, we have this guy who's got 15 labs, but what we're actually going to do here is I'm going to remove 10 labs from you, and I'm going to put you into Delta Shields, which that's not going to be, it's going to take quite a while before we get those shields researched and available for us. But what can you do? But I do want that fast-moving fleet. Okay, we've got troop transports heading our way. Let's see where they end up here. Yeah, they also have their escorts, of course, which is always annoying to think about. Okay, looks like they just destroyed our outpost here on V1581 Cygni. One thing I'm actually going to do, if we go to our ground forces and I go to surface to orbit targeting here, for these formations, I'm going to set them to do target largest ship. Yeah, so I'm going to set target largest ship for basically all of these formations. I assume you can't like shift click or anything here. That's really, really annoying, but you know, what can you do at the end of the day? Target largest ship. So this will mean that they will actually target the troop transports before the other vessels. The troop transports are a lot more deadly to us than the other ones because if they land those forces on, we could lose potentially these surface orbit weapons, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to say target the largest possible vessel that they are able to see first. And there we go. So hopefully that should help out in regards to that. So now I'm going to see what they decide to do. So far, no actions that I can detect anyway. They seem to have landed. Yeah, they just conquered the planet. Definitely unfortunate to see, I'll say that much. So far, no more forces, but does this mean we've lost passive tracking capabilities? So we've actually lost contact with them, which is definitely concerning to say the least. I'm just going to do 1 day increments now until something happens. Let's do a 5-day increment here. So we're just basically waiting now for carriers to be built, for fighters to be built, and so that we can, you know, get enough for what we need. We need a good like 5-6 more fighters before we can get a full squadrons of what we want. So yeah, just going to continue to do that 5-day increment, continue to wait along here. We may be attacked at this point, but we're going to try and hold out. We've still got a lot of Marines on the surface who are ready to fight to the death here. So I am not scared that much by our enemies. Okay, looks like we've got a bunch of promotions going on here. New fire was constructed. We're just waiting for more of those to be obviously constructed, as I said. But yeah, we should have pretty much everything that we need. What do we not have? We have Sussex vessels, Vanguard. Yeah, we got pretty much everything. We are only waiting right now on those Transvaals. We have 24 Transvaals here, which means we've got enough for what we need. They also have a full ammunition load, which is always nice. We're running out of actual officers, which is concerning. Let me have a look at our policy. Our policy is, if I look at academies, yeah, that's what it is. If I do this, no, it goes more of those. I want more officer graduates. So we may need to put more stuff. We need to put more graduates, like military academies. Okay, so these are the 24 Transvaal B-class vessels. I'm going to put these into one group. No, two groups. We want to put these into two groups because if we overkill with these torpedoes, they're a lot more expensive and valuable than any other kind of torpedoes specifically. So we definitely want to be careful with those. So that now means that we've landed all of the torpedoes, torpedo bombers that is, and I'm going to attach you, join you then as a subfleet, and I'm going to do the exact same thing here for, where is it, the other Transvaals, which need to be detached as well. Attach these guys, join up with the Vanguard, but then land and assigned as a subfleet. There we go. So that now means that we have all the torpedo bombers we're going to be needing. And now we're going to wait a little bit longer. Now, one thing I do also want to send is I'm going to grab a Cardigan. I'm going to grab 2 Cardigan C-class vessels, and one thing that we that was an issue from the previous conflict was that we ran out of fuel. So I'm going to actually reroute you guys to Bernard's start, and you're going to move to Ego, and you are going to be sitting there, and then you'll come through when we need that fuel to resupply our colony, of course, whenever that does occur. But yeah, we should be. I'm expecting an invasion any day now. The enemy forces are they do tend to like their ground forces. They're pretty unprotected so far as I can tell anyway. Okay, 5-day increment. A lot of people are getting relieved from command or getting promoted, which is interesting. We found an abandoned mine. So far, so good still. Gunning and C-class vessels are now at Ego, which is fantastic news. Okay, there we go. So if I have a look now, we should have all 36 strike fighters. 37 of them. That's plenty for me anyway. And then I'm going to split these into groups of 18. So I want half of these. So let's think about this. What would be 18? Well, if I count down right, that'll be down to 64. So there we go. That's 20, my bad. Groups of 20 is still decent, but we can't actually afford to do that. So I'm just going to detach both of these. Then I'm going to have them join as fleet for the Vanguard. Where is the Vanguard? Land on the assigned mothership. Vanguard, and then land on the assigned mothership Vanguard. Where are you? There you are. Land on that assigned mothership. And that will now fill out our main fighters, for now anyway. So, yeah. Now we need to actually assign those into subfleet so it doesn't look incredibly messy. So let's go for 67, 84 to 67. Would that be correct? I think it would be. Yes, it would. And then we can just do the exact same thing we did before. Rejoin these straight into the carrier group. And then we have no problems whatsoever. Detach that. Join the fleets. And then we're going to join up with the Vanguard like before. There we go. Okay, so now I need to actually, give these proper orders. So I'm going to name this the 5th Interceptor Squadron. You are going to be the 1st Torpedo Squadron. This is going to be the 13th Strike Squadron. 14th Strike Squadron. Oh. Strike Squadron. And then the 2nd Torpedo Squadron. Okay, if you're wondering, by the way, what these torpedo bombs are and what all these fighters are, you can go into the last episode and see us design those missiles, design new fighters, and use them all accordingly. Okay, now I'm going to reload, resupply, refuel, load ordnance, all of that groovy stuff. How is ordnance production actually coming? What's our stockpile right now? We have 566 Mark V Striker short range and 50 Hunter torpedoes. So hopefully we'll be able to reload and get ready for that. But we're practically ready to move out once we've reloaded and rearmed. It's just going to come down to how much missiles we'll actually have, and what I'll be okay with, of course. Taking quite a while to reload, rearm, and refuel, I will admit that. So we'll wait 5 days. Okay, the Vanguard has finally completed its orders. So if we have a look at the supply vessel, that should now mean that we have 382 Mark V Strikers, and then on the Vanguard, we should have 408, 96 Striker, 408. So we have a total of 621 Striker short ranges, and then all of these. Oh yeah, I presume these destroyers are also using the torpedoes, right? Yeah, they are. which is okay, in fact. So that means we have 382 here, and then on this we probably have a lot less, I would presume. Yeah, we only have 180. It's the torpedoes that I really want, which means we're going to need a lot of torpedoes, and torpedoes are going to be a little bit costly. So I'm actually going to lower this to 30%, and I'm going to increase the torpedoes to 70% of our capacity. We are currently trying to build up, I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to start building up even more ordnance factories. We need more ordnance production. So if I have a look at current ordnance, we have 13,500 BP of ordnance, 700 factories. We need more, a lot more, if we're going to probably deal with the enemy that we're facing at the end of the day here. Etal PA00A1. Are you running out of fuel? Excuse me? Sol, go refuel first. And don't yell at me until you have refueled. Okay, there we go. So it looks like we're being invaded, or attacked anyway. We're hitting the troop transports though, which is definitely useful. Energy weapon impacts. Okay, they managed to land 23,000 of their forces, so that's definitely interesting. And now we're destroying all the other vessels with our service door weapons, which is fantastic news. Hello? Yeah, there we go. We're impacting them there. Total armor hits on that one. Hopefully we should be able to deal with this. We are losing quite a few emplacements though, I will admit. Trying to get armor hits. Trying to get those armor hits in. But the ECM is really affecting us here, and also our visual tracking speed. Okay, well, we destroyed both of them, which is useful, but we did lose quite a bit doing so. Now let's see how our ground forces fare versus theirs. Now, we managed to destroy half of their ground forces, which is when they were trying to land, which is perfect. So let's see how effective we are on the ground. Okay, we're trading about 2-1 now, so that is pretty good. Do another one of those trades. We lose 138. They lose quite a few other units there as well. Overall, that's pretty damn good. And hopefully we'll be able to slaughter the rest of them. 150 Marines, they lose about 300. So it's really about 2-1 at the moment, which makes sense. How many units, how many forces did we destroy? Oops. Ooh, the events. There we go. So they have 14,000 tons left. 9,000 tons. We're getting breakthroughs now. And we should be able to have wiped out all of their ground forces relatively quickly here. Starting to achieve some breakthroughs. Now we're achieving lots of breakthroughs. And now we're achieving all of the breakthroughs. Starting to slaughter through forces here. And we should have, yeah, we wiped them all out. So that's another successful defense here for us. And 4 more alien ships destroyed, which is pretty fantastic. Okay, they've landed more forces onto us. Well, they're trying to anyway. They've brought a lot more vessels though this time. Let's see what we can do. We're targeting the larger vessels before the other vessels. Yeah, they were able to get a lot of forces actually onto the ground here. So I'm going to actually change up our surface to orbit weapon targeting. Because right now what's happening is the ECM, or the way that will be affected, will actually cause us issues. So what I'm going to do is target random ship. Target random ship. Target random ship, guys. This will change their targeting back. Now that's a lot of enemy ground forces. I'm not sure we'll be able to hold versus that, but we will be able to at least inflict casualties onto their transport, onto their larger vessels. That's my hope anyway. There we go. We're impacting a lot of these enemy ships, and that is all of the enemy vessels dead. Well, that's another 6 enemy vessels dead. Jesus. Even if these marine divisions die, they will have done so as great leaders, as great sacrifices. So we're trading about, I don't know, 75% here. So yeah, we're definitely not on the upper hand compared to them. They're definitely starting to get the upper hand on us with just the sheer amount of infantry. And our force have been fighting over and over and over and over again here. So it's going to be quite a bit of combat. We lost 478 Marines. They lost 200 infantry. So yeah, there's a lot we're going to have to do here to be able to properly catch up. And we're starting to suffer significant civilian casualties, significant civilian deaths. And that's obviously a bit of a that kind of sucks. But we're shooting back. We're trying to do the best we can here, but our losses are ballooning compared to their losses. We're just not. I think it's the amount of times that our forces have been shot, their armor's been shredded or whatever. And so they're just not as effective as they might not once were. Yeah, entire battalions are now being wiped out. So I would expect the planet to fall here relatively quickly, and that's unfortunate to say the least. But these men held on bravely, and they are still holding on. They're still firing and killing more and more infantry, but it's not good enough at this point. So we're going to need to bring in reinforcements, which is going to be our carrier. It's going to be further forces that we will hopefully be having. If we have a look over at the Vanguard here, we should have ordnance-wise 621, but I believe because of our aardvarks, no, yeah. So that gives us a total of 51 torpedoes. You got 25 on you, so we can probably do this, and we do have ordnance transportation vessels, so I am actually going to order this fleet to move out. I'm going to call this the 5th Fleet. 5th Fleet. And I'm going to order them to move towards V318 Cygni. So where the hell is that again? 0.10. Sure. No, excuse me, guys. I'm a little bit tired. Fine, we'll go through Bernard Star, go through Captain Star, go to V1581 Cygni. Move to the colony. And then I'm also going to bring, obviously, our transports with us once we need them. But we also should have ordnance transports ready. And so once we have enough ordnance, we can then begin to transport that over through without having to send our entire fleet back and forth, which is definitely very useful for us. So yeah, let's get our fleet moving. Yeah, here we go. So once we get within range, we're then going to try and decimate the ground forces with our Natals. We're on Natals. Natal, PA1. You guys should have, yeah, you have the Marine Division, correct? Yes, you do. 30 days to get to the colony to refuel, which is quite a long time. Once you have refueled, though, we will be able to send you off to go and land forces. Now, if we have a look at Bernard Star, we should have the fuel transport people ready. Another thing I need to make sure as well is go over to this group. I need to make sure my supply vessels are actually, supplying things. There we go. Load fleet ordnance. Resupply our own fleet. There we go. So that should make sure that there's actually, refueling. There's going to be a lot of combat on the screen, guys, but yeah, we've lost, practically speaking, here. All forces have been lost. So there's not much to report in regards to that. Bunch of refits now occurred, which is fantastic news. And yeah, we're just going to wait for the 5th Fleet to keep moving through and secure the system. And then once we have secured the system, we'll be able to make some decisions from that point. Yeah, they have quite a lot of forces. They're able to just throw away like 40,000, another 40,000, another 40,000 tons. And so we're going to need a lot more ground forces overall for any kind of invasion that we'd realistically want to be able to do here. Okay, yeah. Continuing to go through combat. So 5th Fleet is on the way, as we can see here. So I'm also going to now give, once they've passed a little bit, I'm going to give the order to move the tankers. Tankers are fueled and refueled and ready. You're going to move to Captain Star, you're going to move to fuel and Signy, and you're just going to sit there until required. And that is going to be for fuel reasons. So we'll be able to extend the range of our vessels significantly further than we otherwise would be able to. First Combat Engineer Brigade. We're now in Captain Star, which is fantastic. So if we go over to Captain Star, we should now be transversing through it. Yes, there we go. We haven't detected any vessels from me going to Levy Lacerte, so I'm not too worried here. But we are on our way. Yeah, we're going to be about 5 days out here, realistically speaking, until we can actually reach, or 8 days, to reach target. But we're getting there. Very slowly, but we're getting there. Obviously, massive carriers, not known for being fast vessels, but maybe that'll change in the future. Who knows? Captain Admiral Lazaryov has maintenance clock. What do you mean? How can you take damage already? Are you kidding me? Max. That's annoying. That is really annoying. Okay, cruiser, escort, cruiser, Senya C. You need some more, less fuel, more, how do I say this, engineering spaces. That'd be nice. Engineering. So I'm doing this because this is a design flaw that I didn't actually realize was happening here. I need to get rid of an engineering space, and we're just going to fill the rest in with fuel. It's a bit too much fuel, I will admit. Fuel. Small. There we go. And that should be enough. So it has less fuel, but that'll work out. I don't like usually doing that, but when you got design problems like that, I just can't be asked. So, and I'm also going to turn on SM. I'm just going to repair that really quick because that was never supposed to have happened. So damage control, repair all. Okay, there we go. I really should fit on more engines than one some of these vessels, though. I will admit that, just because, like, repair-wise, it makes sense. You know, repair one engine rather than just a massive engine. But in terms of efficiency, when we were attacked, it seems. Yeah, the Cardigan Sea just got attacked. Those are gonna die. This one can probably get out to Captain Star if it tries. That's concerning. That means that they have forces on the other side, so the only way we're going to be able to outroute them is going to be sending in our own fleet. Now, if I have a look over on Fleet Signy, so yeah, they're camping the jump point, which is not very good for us. Yeah, those are where the energy weapon impacts are coming from, which is right there. So what I'm going to do now is so attack by Baldwin, range, penetrating shots. So far there's only 4 penetrating shots, which means that it's likely I'm going to deploy our interceptors. I'm going to deploy the interceptors. I'm also going to deploy the 14th Strike Squadron. I'm going to move the Strike Squadron up towards the jump point. Okay, and then I'm going to move the what the hell is it? 13th Strike Squadron. No, 14th. Where the hell am I? Yeah, interceptors. We're gonna move you up towards the jump point. So we're going to go for EV Lacerte. No, this jump point. Yeah, we can probably get these tankers out because we saw no small range weapon fire. But we can probably assume that it's going to be yeah, there we go. So we were able to get both of the vessels out, and they should be able to begin repairs. Yeah, let's get the engines repaired first. But that is actually really good information, and I should have been more careful before sending stuff into an active war zone like that. So the plan is going to be, we're going to send forward, we're going to send forward them. I'm also going to send forward the 5th Fleet to kind of move to your location. But don't transit. You're going to move you're going to move to your location, and I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, we got both of the fighters now heading that way. I'm going to send the interceptors in first, and they'll hopefully tank a few of the shots. And then we'll send the strike squadron in, which will hopefully deal with them. Because I'm pretty sure the Baldwins... What information do we have on our enemy here in regards to the Baldwin class vessel? Baldwin... Okay, the Baldwin class vessel just has a particle beam, which means that's basically no actual defense versus missile fire. So, and it should also not be very good versus interceptors, because there's lots of small targets that are very, very fast, which makes it hard for single shot weapons to impact and do a lot of damage. But if, let's say, our fleet went through that jump point, they could kill our carrier in about 5 bloody seconds. So that's a little bit more concerning in that regard. So I'm going to send the 14th through. We're also going to need some weighted attack to enemy. So I'm going to launch I'm going to launch a single growler. I'm going to activate sensors. I'm going to have you join up with the interceptors. Join us a fleet to that guy. So that's now on the way. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be a little bit risky, of course. This is going to become a problem in the wars, dealing with these jump points. But we now have both of them ready. Interceptors should also be ready, as well as the 14th Strike Squadron. There we go. I'm going to send through the interceptors first, so jump through. Interceptors jumping through the jump point, and then the hope is that they will be able to take the fire first. And then we're going to do a standard jump as well. Now, this could go horribly, horribly wrong, or it could go fine. The question is, how bad does it go? Okay, that's not fun. That's not fun. That's a lot more vessels than I expected there to be. Okay, looks like the Ontarios took the brunt. Ontario, energy weapon impacts. It's also larger weapon impacts. Attacked by Baldwin. Okay, mainly the Ontarios were butchered, but our other vessels, not so bad. Not so bad. So, what's our active sensor capability? Yeah, we do have active sensors. So if we manage to get away from the enemy here, we could force them off of the jump point, which is really what I want to have happen. So what kind of enemies are we dealing with? We're dealing with mainly the funds. There's a couple daggers, but mainly Baldwins and the funds, which means that actual capability, close range, is not going to be too impressive. So I'm going to move away. What do we have left of the interceptors? 3 interceptors left. Okay. You guys run for it. 14th Strike Squadron also run for it, but I am going to actually order you to fire before we do so. We're just going to fire straight into one of the funds. So I'm going to auto assign fire control straight into one of the funds. Assign to the fleet. Make sure one's sync fire. Open fire fleet. And then also get the hell out of there. Okay, those Ontarios are now not doing too good. I will admit, not doing too good. We need to get the hell away. That's the bloody thing. We need to get the hell away from the enemy. So how far away is that? Not far bloody enough, that's for sure. So waypoint 5, let's head for that. The Inceptors are basically just all dead at this point. We'll admit that. We'll admit. Waypoint 5. 5th Fleet. Inceptors head towards waypoint 5 as well. Okay, well at least we're not within immediate range of them. We did lose quite a few Ontarios going through their jump point, but we forced them off, which is what we want. So now that they've been forced away, we can send in our own fighters, our own carriers, our own things. But I'm not going to do that until they're significantly far away enough. So I'm going to do another waypoint number 6. And I'm going to say, hey, carrier 14th carrier strike group, head towards that waypoint, try and bait them towards that, and then we can begin to send forward the fleet. We're going to move towards the jump point, which may take hours. Okay, what's the hold up on the fire delay, my dude? Shouldn't we be firing our missiles off at this point? Maximum range, 43 million kilometers, available missiles, everything looks good. Sign that to fleet. Come on, let's Okay, so now I'm gonna move you guys as far bloody away as possible. So waypoint number 7. 14th Strike Squadron head to waypoint 7. And then the 5th Inceptors. There's only 1 left. We lost 11 of the Interios. But they did a valuable service. Why aren't you firing any of your ordnance? That's my question. Mark 4 Striker ASM. We have the Mark 4s loaded. We only have the Mark 4s loaded. No. Please tell me. Landing craft guided missile destroyers. Strike fire. Block 4. You should have loaded that one, but they haven't replaced it. Fuck. That's not good. Is that the same for all of them? Strike squadron. Ship combat. It's not the same. Some of them have the Mark 5 strikers, some of them don't. Oh, that is infuriating. Okay, V1 Signy, replace ordnance, I guess, is probably going to be the... Replace parasite ordnance, logistics, replace fleet ordnance. Okay. And while we're at it, I'm actually going to launch the torpedo bombers. Hey, excuse me? Why do you have no ammunition? Oh, I know why. I'm stupid. Land on the side of the ship as subfleet. Land on the side of the ship as subfleet. God, this is such ill-preparedness. Torpedo bomber. You actually need to be assigned the missile you're going to be using. So you're going to be using the Hunter. There we go. Yeah, let's try and just get the hell away here. Well, we fired them off, but I doubt they'll be any effective because they're the old kind of missiles. We got some hits. Well, not very effective. We'll admit that much. But yeah, hopefully we can just get the hell away from the target, and then I can launch torpedo bombers. Torpedo Transvals. Yeah, you're gonna take a while, aren't you? To actually add all that ordnance together. Replace ordnance, add ordnance. Come on. Okay, we arrived. I'm just gonna tell you to just run away in that direction. And since we can't even fire, is there much of a point in keeping active sensors on? Probably, but I'm not gonna risk it anyway. Let's get the hell back to the waypoint. We have plenty of fuel, so we can easily just keep running. That's not a concern of mine at all. But we're getting the enemy away from the jump point at least, which is obviously good. And they can't physically catch us. There's no possible way. So eventually we'll be able to just escape them. Yeah, there we go. We've lost contact of them. And no more detections so far, anyway. Yeah, the interior interceptor is going to run out of fuel, isn't it? Because it doesn't. Yeah, they don't have very much fuel in comparison to the other squadrons. You guys have plenty of fuel though, and I'm going to order you then to head this way to try and help the interceptor. Hopefully, it won't die. It may die, and if that's the case, who cares? But you know what can you do at the end of the day? I might as well tell it to shut up though, because that is annoying me. Yeah. But my hope is that their resolution sensors are not as great as ours, and so that we'll be able to get the hell away from the enemy. How much longer can we get that ordnance? I bet it won't show, will it? Okay, we do. We have actual torpedo bombers ready. The problem is now we don't know where the target is. But I'm gonna launch all of our torpedo bombers. Okay, and do these guys have all of the correct ordnance now? Mark 5, Mark 5, Mark 5. No, you don't have the correct ordnance because it's not fully replaced yet. But we do have these torpedoes, bombers, which we can easily send through to the target, join us swiftly, and we can then have them try and, do some damage. I'm hoping that we'll be able to inflict. I mean, we can kill, what, 2 ships at most? We may want to split the fire. It depends how effective this will actually be, no? So I'm going to head these through to move to that location. And I'm also going to halt the 14th Strike Squadron until I know where the enemy is. Yeah, it looks like they're probably headed back to the jump point, so I'm going to order the squadron to head to the jump point. With the express purpose of trying to bait them away so that we can get torpedo bombers through. And because then, if we can get torpedo bombers through, we would then be able to obviously hit the enemy with our torpedoes. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. That'll take us 4 hours to get back to the jump point. Torpedo squadrons are ready. If the enemy does come through, we'll be able to hopefully hit them. Okay, coming in. The problem is that there's so many targets, it's hard to saturate the fire here. But we should be able to do so. I'd also want to actually send our destroyers through. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to order our, where is it, 5th Fleet. I'm going to order our destroyer squadrons, or destroyers, as well as a single cruiser. So that'll be 7 ships in total, with 2 destroyers, Helios guided missile destroyer. Actually, I'm just going to send the 2 Helios Cs. And now these should have all of the short range missiles on it. So I'm going to send these straight over towards the jump point. I'll take them 5.8 hours. Now let's see if we can get a contact warning on one of these vessels. There we go. So we have. So it did seem that they were sitting on the jump point. These tactics of just sitting on the jump point. Where have they learned these things from? But let's get the hell back to our waypoint, waypoint 10. And let's try and lure them out. Now we need about 300,000 kilometer radius here. To really allow our torpedo bombers to properly get in and actually hit the targets. Oh, they are decently within range. That's perfect. So, torpedo squadrons, We got 2 of them here. Should we do 6? We could kill 4 vessels. Their impacts are 4. I think that's probably going to be best, no? So I'm going to do 19. So I'll take half and half of each, right? So 1 to 6 is obviously one of them, and then I'm going to do 24 to 18 here. So we'll do 6 and 6. Gonna rejoin as a subfleet and then rejoin as a subfleet. So let's just do that, and then I'm gonna send them straight through the jump point. Okay, we're now within range. Well, we're here anyway. Let's now get within target. So contacts, head towards Baldwin vessels. They're now moving back away, which is perfect. Now, we don't want them to run out of active sensor range. So 14th, head towards contacts, head towards these guys. We do not want them to run out of sensor range here. Now, just correct, the ranges are exactly, 3 million kilometers, so we should be able to get out here, but I just want to make sure that we're all okay. Okay, we're in range. Active sensors are okay as well. Prepare to launch torpedoes. Torpedo squadron. Okay, torpedoes are correct. Let's make sure we've assigned that all to the fleet. What is our max range on a torpedo like this? They're about 3 million kilometers away. So about 3 million kilometers. What's the torpedo marked at? 3.5 million kilometer range. Okay, that's fine. Fire torpedoes off then. So we're going to go for 1. So we're going to go for the Baldwins first, and then we'll go for the Foots. So that'll be 6 torpedoes per. Assign that to fleet. We're going to assign you to this fleet, so assign to subfleet. And then I'm going to assign to this Baldwin, assign that subfleet. And then to the 12th Baldwin, we'll assign that subfleet. Open fire the fleet. Oh yeah, I need to also make sure they're actually on synchronized fleet sync fire. Fleet sync fire, fleet synchronized fire, fleet synchronized fire. Just gotta wait now for ordnance to be ready. Okay, that's a little bit too close. Little bit too close. I'm gonna move them away now. Back to the jump point. Okay, torpedoes are away. Chance to hit 94%. Here we go. Let's see how effective this is going to be. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. They only managed to score 2 hits on us. And we managed to... We got 1 penetration. We hit him once. And we penetrate straight through and caused a massive power explosion. Holy Christ on a cracker. I am very happy about that. Very, very happy about that indeed. And so, yeah, that now leaves one of the Baldwins is trying to escape. The others are just kind of sitting there. 14th, just continue, just kind of circle them. Those Ontarios died, but they're going to die for a proper purpose. Our torpedoes have proven that they are effective, and they can do serious damage. I mean, 36 warhead strength, that'll pierce straight through the armor. Now we need to look at how to follow that attack up, okay? So we have 2 missile destroyers coming up here. They'll be here in 4 hours. How quickly can I get a strike group ready to go? Not very quick, I will admit. Not the quickest. We need to replace all the ordnance, but to do that, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to tell the Vanguard to replace Parasite ordnance, in fact. And then I'll tell a supply vessel to load fleet ordnance. There we go. Now we need to make sure we're actually paying attention to what's happening in Illinois Signy, but that was a smashing success of a strike. Very, very happy with that one. Okay, they've arrived. Let's get those torpedo bombers straight back to the fleet, straight back to getting rearmed, readied, and prepared to go again. I'm going to reorganize this though into proper sections that needs to be they need to be a part of. So second, yeah, we'll just throw all of you guys into that one. And then all of you guys back into that one as well. And then we'll just keep launching these, sending these against the enemy. But as I suspected, our opponents actually are having a very, very hard time of impacting or doing any serious damage towards us because of our ECM, our ECCM, and because of the great speeds at which we are firing these towards a target. So let's start transit through, let's go to our fleet, and let's land on the mothership as assigned fleet. Exact same thing with this one. Destination star. So yeah, they may have killed, maybe 4,000, 5,000 tons of fighters, but we killed 15,000 tons with that initial strike, and we disabled multiple of the vessels. And so I consider that a victory, an initial victory anyway, until we can do something else. Let's just cease fire on targets here. We don't want to fire without knowing what we're supposed to be doing here. What is happening with this vessel? Okay, it's heading backwards. But yeah, we seem to have disabled some of that other vessels, but we destroyed 2 Baldwins with that 1 attack, which is fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's have 14th strike hold that position then. We want to get these guys back eventually, but we can't do that just for now anyway. I'm going to just wait until we can get those destroyers moved in. Okay, looks like that's going to be guarding the jump point, which is a little bit concerning, I will admit. How is it going in Captain Stars? That'll be, I think, did you say 4 hours? 2 hours at the moment. Okay, 2 hours. Oh. We got contact lock. 5th Fleet, I need a cruiser. 5th Fleet cruiser actives on. We need to pull away. Fifth Fleet 002, torpedo bombers heading backwards. 5th Fleet head towards. Move to location. That seems like a prime target for boarding capability. We have 4 Quebecs. Are they loaded already? Yes, they are. I'll send 2 Quebecs to go and land and take the vessel. Detach, contacts, Baldwin, attempt boarding all formations. Its sensors must have been knocked out and it's kind of just drifting forward towards us. Well, here come the boarding craft. We're going to try and capture it. I do want to make sure that we're not having any issues over here. No, they're not. They're still asleep. They're still a bit disabled from the initial strike. The shock damage, I presume, is a big part of that. Just want to make sure, because if they turn around at any point, that could be a disastrous thing for us. Captain start, 2 minutes. Here we go. Okay, once you have boarded, get the hell back to the fleet. Okay, oof. Here we go. It seems significantly disabled. Yeah, significantly disabled here. There we go. We can flex a casualty. We didn't even lose a marine with that. We're not even losing marines. We're just slaughtering. We captured it. We got one of that particle lancers, which is Very juicy, I will admit. Baldwin. So we know it's a destroyer. So they're the same vessels in the FUD classes. In the FUD class destroyer, particle length 320,000 kilometers per second. They've got, that's very important information. Rate of fire of 65 seconds with a max range of 320,000 kilometers per second. Yeah, 11 armor on them, which is nasty, I will admit. What's damage on you? Not actually that much. Not actually that much. Just the infusion drive and just the particle lance. Well, once we repaired, you can get back. You haven't. How much fuel do you have? What's the range on a vessel such as you? 28 billion kilometers. So we'll just have you sit there for now. Get your stuff repaired, and then we'll move forward. Shipyard fleet. Let's actually just get them. Let's get the forces back up. 30th and 31st boarding platoons. The more vessels we capture, the more we can get their technology, and that is something that I really, really would like. Okay, so that's perfect news. That means that we've captured that vessel, which is another vessel out of the running for them. Let's go to Signy then. And I'm just going to wait here until we get the destroyers to move through. Torpedo squadrons have landed, which is fantastic news. There's no reason to hit them with torpedoes now. We've disabled a lot of them and caused significant damage. Now we're going to destroy the remainder. At least that's going to be the objective here. So 0052 Helios C-class vessels. Jump through into Signy, please. There we go. Head towards the contact. We have a 2 million kilometer range on these short range strikers. But they're actually shorter range than the torpedoes, which is interesting to think about. But yeah, those are NFUDs. So they're all NFUDs. So they really rely on their particle lancers, which is interesting to think about. Okay, let's do a 5 second. 5, 5, 5. We're now within range. Prepare to fire. Make sure that we are actually within range. Also sign that fire control. Sign there. And then we're going to open fire accordingly onto each individual vessel. We're going to go for the NFUDs first. Actually, the daggers are probably more appropriate here. We're going to focus fire on both of those. Open fire fleet. Let's make sure they're actually synced though. Fleet sync on. And they should be able to fire those torpedoes relatively quickly. Okay, those are two strikes going out. Now let's ceasefire the fleet before we go on. So it's 32 missiles total. So we got 10 hits there, which actually is quite good. 1 penetrating hit. Remember, we're doing 16 damage a hit compared to 9 before. We have 38% chance, 42% chance here. So definitely not as good as other missiles, but still pretty goddamn effective. So we hit about half and half, right? So let's just open fire again. What's the problem? We should be able to open fire. We'll open fire. I guess we're just waiting for reloads. Remember, these guys actually can fire multiple salvos from their magazines. Okay, more torpedoes away. Let's just cease fire for now until I have confirmation on vessel destructions. Okay, that's 11 more hits. Let's continue hitting them. So open fire once more. So come on, keep firing. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And we fired off again. And that's a enemy vessel dead. So that's one of them. And then we have another dagger, and then also the other vessel as well. So now I want you to focus fire onto the FUDs. but we'll also want to finish off the last dagger as well, of course. Okay. Nuclear detonations, 20 nuclear detonations. We managed to destroy that other vessel, which is great news. And then let's go on with this. Target fire on Nefud 21. And then let's just do 2 minutes increments. 30 seconds. More missiles on the way. 7 nuclear detonations. That was a poor one, but we managed to actually penetrate through with our missiles. But yeah, these missiles are actually proving pretty damn effective. We just need to be able to fire a lot more of them. That's another vessel dead. Okay, we don't actually have any missiles remaining that we can send forward, but we can bring our fleet back, send them to the jump point, Captain Star, and then have them rejoin the fleet. And then I'm going to order 5th Fleet to go through the jump point. Silent transit. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave the episode off. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. Consider becoming a member. Get amazing perks. Get to be on the Discord. Talk with me at any point. And it really does help me continue to make these episodes. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, we'll be able to eradicate these enemy forces. But our missiles are proving to be very effective. And I'm happy with their performance. Bye-bye. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And special thanks to members Autogo 1101, King Strozer, Luz Neto, Impassive 9001, Gravmania, Fishik, Pinito Vinito, Doodle SM, Xavian, and more. Hope to see you guys next time. Thank you for supporting the channel.